Here we go. I think, yeah, that's better. Hello, coloring crew. Welcome back. How are you? I hope everybody's well. So, yeah, the other one, this phone, I guess, is a little glitchy. It's like, it's very warm, too. And I shut it down. So I'll just wait for Izzy to come back. Let's see the Lord's Prayer again. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. As it give give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us for our trespasses. Forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Let me go tell him I'm live again. Sorry, guys. Let's watch this in replay. This here's gonna get annoying today. See, then my hair can get this short soon. Then everything will be level, and then everything can go out even. Or should I just leave it? I think I'm gonna leave it. Come on, Z. Let me turn this back on. Like, oh, it's cooled down. Just give me. I'm sorry, guys. This is all crazy. As soon as it was glitchy when I started, I should have never went on with the live. Now, if you guys couldn't really hear that much in the first live, leave a comment below, and I'm sorry. That's, do I have to send these? I'm not sending an invitation out to there. Oof. Okay, let's go to my live. I'll share it with Facebook only. Sometimes when you are streaming, you'll have good days with streaming and bad days. There we go. Now everybody has it. Oh, I'm going to just close that. There we go. Oh, it's on. There we go. And let's get started. So, I don't know if we read First John. I'll read it again. Okay, First John chapter 5, verse 4. For every child of God defeats the evil world, and we achieve the victory through our faith. Yeah, we did read that. That's okay to read it twice. Next, we're going to do a Habakkuk. Habakkuk. Or is it at the end? Where is this? Hold on, guys. I think I might have went right past it like twice. There we go. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14. Got it? For as the waters fill the sea, the earth will be filled with an awareness of the glory of the Lord. Oh boy, I'm not reading that well. Let's do that again. For as the waters fill the sea, the earth will be filled with an awareness of the glory of the Lord. That's better. Next is Genesis. Okay, we all know where Genesis is. It's the first book of the Bible. Genesis chapter 22, verse 2. Genesis chapter 22, verse 2. Take your son, your only son, yes, Isaac, whom you loved so much, and go to the land of Moriah. I don't know. Go and sacrifice him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains which I will show you. Then it turned out God stopped him from doing it because he didn't want him to do it. I think it was a test. God will test you in your life. Look at that mountain they did. That does hurt. Next, we're going to go back to Isaiah. Here's a trivia question. Has nothing to do with devotions. On Little House on the Prairie, there was a character named Isaiah. Who was it? Leave a comment below if you know. Alright, Isaiah chapter 46, verse 4. Isaiah chapter 46, verse 4. I will be your God throughout your lifetime, until your hair is white with age. I made you, and I will care for you. I will carry you along and save you. Yep. Next one is Second Chronicles. I think that's how you say it. When I find it, we'll find out what how they say it. And when I press play, we'll find out. Second Chronicles. To do this, I go to the first one and then press play.
Second Chronicles.
Yeah, Chronicles. My friend Michelle says that's not how you really pronounce it, but I forget how you say it. She's whacked up. Alright, Second Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. Second Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. The eyes of the Lord search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. What a fool you have been. From now on, you will be at war. Oh, wow. Next one is Ezekiel. I just have to find that one. I can't remember where that one is. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 12. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 12. Oh, I didn't read what we read. Oh well. Well, because we did a new live. I didn't read what we did in that live. But I'll read it all here. Oh boy. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 11. Did I say that? Yeah, I did say 12. It's Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 11. Sorry about that. As surely as I live, say the sovereign Lord, I take no pleasure in the death of wicked people. I only want them to turn from their wicked ways so they can live. Turn from your wickedness. O people of Israel, why should you die? Since I mentioned number 12, I will read 12 as well. Son of man, give your people this message. The righteous behavior of righteous people will not save them if they turn to sin, nor will the wicked behavior of wicked people destroy them if they repent and turn from their sins. And I will write number 12 because I said 12 because I was looking at Romans. Right below it is 12. There we go. I wrote that down. It's funny how my black hair is all nice and way down a little bit. Oh gosh. But the gray hair sticks out. There we go. Is that better? See, this phone does that too once in a while. Coloring, I like to use that one because I can't use a certain thumbnail, and that's the one I've been using for. Oh well. Yeah, heaps better. Okay, the lady of the hour's back. We're going to go to Philippians. I can't believe I used to pronounce it Philippians. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. Oh, by the way, Izzy, I use a Bible app. So we scroll up or down to find the book we need. All right. And I like it on the Kindle better than the iPad because the Kindle, you can just click on a number of the verse. On the iPad, you have to find the verse. So Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. Oh, that's going to be fun, Izzy. Yeah, see if you can film it. Next is Romans chapter 12, verse 12. It's aggravating me already. 12:12. Romans 12:12. that should be easy. Romans 12:12. Romans chapter 12, verse 12. Rejoice in our confident hope. Be patient in trouble and keep on praying. Just like keep swimming. Keep on praying, praying. Next is, we're going back to 2 Corinthians. Now, if we have duplicates, it won't hurt us to read them again. I would put my headband on, but then I'll mess up my beautiful hair. Oh, we're right here too. Oh, good, a white hair fell out. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Oops. Go back to chapter 1, verse 10. And when I washed my hair, since I had my hair up a lot, all the hair was coming out. I mean, I had a handful. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. And he did rescue us from mortal danger, and he will rescue us again. We have placed our confidence in him, and he will continue to rescue us. Okay. Here's one I never could remember how to pronounce it. I'm going to find it, and then I'll press play just to hear the word. I think it's Hosea. Okay. I think it's Hosea. Let's just listen to the how they pronounce it.
The book of Hosea, chapter...
Yeah, Hosea. Then why do us people, Americans, spell Hosea Jose? Jose. I don't get that. Hosea is what... Alright, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are being destroyed because they don't know me. Since you refuse to know me. Since you priests refuse to know me, I refuse to recognize you as my priest. Since you have forgotten the law of your God, I will forget to bless your children. I know who God is. I know who Jesus is. Yep. Next is Psalms. Psalms chapter 61, verse 2. Psalms chapter 61, verse 2. From the end of the earth, I cry to you for help. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the towering rock of safety. Next, back to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 50, verse 7. Isaiah chapter 50, verse 7. Because the sovereign Lord helps me, I will not be disgraced. Therefore I have set my face like a stone, determined to do his will, and I know that I will not be put to shame. Second Corinthians. Gosh. Yesterday I was so exhausted on second group. Okay. I mean, today. Second Corinthians chapter, oh, this is a long one. Second Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Second Corinthians chapter 4, verses 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, how many? From number 5 is all highlighted. We now have the light shining in our hearts, but we ourselves are like fragile clay jars containing this great treasure. This makes it clear that our great power is from God, not from ourselves. We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair. We are hunted down, but never abandoned by God. We get knocked down, but we are not destroyed. Though suffering, our bodies continue to share in the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be seen in our bodies. Yes, we live under constant danger of death because we serve Jesus, so that the life of Jesus will be evident in our dying bodies. Yes. Next is Joel. Joel. As soon as I find it. Here we go. Joel chapter 2, verse 32. Joel chapter 2, verse 32. But everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. For some on Mount Zion in Jerusalem will escape, just as the Lord has said. These will be among the survivors whom the Lord has called. Next one is 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 4 through 7. First Timothy chapter 1, verses 4 through 7. Don't let them waste your time in endless discussion of myth and spiritual pedigrees. These things only lead to meaningless speculations which don't help people live a life of faith in God. The purpose of my instruction is that all believers would be filled with love that comes from a pure heart, a clear conscience, and a genuine faith. But some people have missed this whole point. They have turned away from these things and spend their times in meaningless discussions. They want to be known as teachers of the law of Moses, but they don't know what they are talking about, even though they speak so confidently. Duh. My tongue got stuck. Let me get some water. nice hydration. We're going back to Isaiah. Back to Isaiah. He must likes us. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. That's the very last one. But in that coming day, no weapon turned against you will succeed. You will silence every voice raised up to accuse you. These benefits are enjoyed by the servant of the Lord. The vindication will come from me. I, the Lord, have spoken. I, the Lord, have spoken. Sorry. Second Corinthians. Second Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. And God will generously provide all you need. Then you will always have everything you need and plenty left over to share with others. I think Izzy left. Next is Amos. I think that's how to pronounce it. I always pronounce it when I was a kid, Amos. That's definitely not the correct pronunciation. As soon as I find it. Oh, here we go. I went way past it. Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Amos chapter 8, verse 11. The time is surely coming, say the sovereign Lord, when I will send a famine on the land, not a famine of bread or water, but of hearing the word of the Lord. Wow. Next is the book of Joshua. Joshua, where are you? Yo, Joshua. Joshua. It was up there. I was going to go up. I went, no, it's not. Oh, it's right at the beginning. Oh, boy. Joshua chapter 5, verse 12. Joshua chapter 5, verse 12. Gosh, there's still yellow in here. Thought I got rid of it. Joshua 5, verse 12. No manna appeared on the day they first ate from the crops of the land, and it was never seen again. So from that time on, the Israelites ate from the crops of Canaan. Let's highlight the yellow and green, because I was supposed to do that when I read the whole Bible. This one's easy. James chapter 1, verse 11. 1111. James chapter 1. Yeah, James chapter 1, verse 11. Do 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 James chapter 1 verse 11. James chapter 1 verse 11. The hot sun rises and the grass withers. The little flowers drops and falls, and its beauty fades away. In the same way, the rich will fade away with all of their achievements. Next is 2 Kings. I guess I'm wrong. I thought 2 Kings was at the beginning. I went right past it because... Oh, there you go. It is at the beginning. I thought so. 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 5 through 7. 2 Kings chapter 18, 5 through 7. Hezekiah trusted in the Lord, the God of Israel. There was no one like him among all of the kings of Judah, either before or after his time. He remained faithful to the Lord in everything, and he carefully obeyed all the commands the Lord had given Moses. So the Lord was with him, and Hezekiah was successful in everything he did. He revolted against the king of Assyria and refused to pay him tribute. There's one God, one Jesus, and that's who we worship. That's it. Next is Psalms. Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation, so why should I be afraid? The Lord is my fortress, protecting me from danger, so why should I tremble? Exactly, why should you tremble? We're almost done for today. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 11 and 12. Proverbs chapter 30, verses 11 and 12. Some people curse their father and do not thank their mother. They are pure in their own eyes, but they are filthy and unwashed. Oh boy. Forgive me, God, and forgive me, Mom, if I didn't say thank you to you. Thank you. Joshua chapter 1, verse 5. Joshua chapter 1, verse 5. As soon as I find it. So now you guys have time to find it. Oh boy. Yes, again, chapter 1. Joshua chapter 1, verse 5. No one will be able to stand against you as long as you live, for I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will not fail you or abandon you. I can't remember if I've read yesterday's passage. You know how I read them quickly at the end? I'm not sure if I read them yesterday. Let me quickly go check that out. Because if I didn't read it, I'll just read them all now. Let's just listen. Write it down and maybe read it. Maybe upload a video if you want. I don't know if people want to do that. Hold on. I don't think I read them. I thought that would be fun. And if there is your birthday not on there, then you just move on to the next one. Okay, we did half. So the next one will be tomorrow, and I'll just do it every day until it's done. And I won't put this in the book, it'll stay out. And, yeah, so if you want to do that, I think that will be a fun thing. Yeah. I'm not going to read them all, or should I? I'm going to... Or should I? Alright, I will read it all. So, the next one we're going to read is 2 Samuel. Second Samuel, chapter 22, verse 29. 2 Samuel, chapter 22, verse 29. O Lord, you are my lamp. The Lord lights up my darkness. Last one. Matthew. Matthew chapter 6, verse 2. Matthew chapter 6, verse 2. When you give to someone in need, don't do as the hypocrites do, blowing trumpets in the synagogue and streets to call attention to the act of charity. I tell you the truth. They have received all the rewards they will ever get. Yes. And that is it for today's. So I will read them all out. So what we read yesterday. Okay. This is what we read yesterday, guys. Jude 2. Jude only has one chapter. So Jude verse 2. Romans chapter 12 verse 14. Proverbs chapter 9 verse 10. Psalms chapter 32 verse 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13 and 14. Luke chapter 2 verse 20. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 8. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 19. Psalms chapter 19 verse 1. Job chapter 19 verse 28. 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. Mark chapter 10 verse 45. Exodus chapter 39 verse 1. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10. Jonah chapter 4 verse 4. 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7. Mark chapter 8 verse 34. Colossians chapter 1 verse 21 and 22. Daniel chapter 11 verse 32. Luke chapter 4 verses 18 and 19. John chapter 1 and verse 1. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20. Hey Maria, the dancing queen, just reading off the devotions, the verses I read yesterday and today. Exodus chapter 19 verse 4. Titus chapter 3 verse 5. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 23. Ephesians chapter 4 verses 11 and 12. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 35. Romans chapter 6 verse 7. Isaiah chapter 6 verse 3. That was all yesterday. How are you, Maria? Alright, today's verses that we read today is 1 Corinthians chapter 16 verse 13. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. 1 John chapter 5, verse 4. Genesis chapter 22, verse 2. Did I say Genesis chapter 22, verse 2? I'm not sure if I said that one right. 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Psalms chapter 61, verse 2. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 4 through 7. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. Joshua chapter 5, verse 12. 2 Kings chapter 18, verses 5 through 7. Proverbs chapter 30, verses 11 and 12. 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 29. Isaiah chapter 53, verse 6. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14. Isaiah chapter 46, verse 4. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 11 and 12. Romans chapter 12, verse 12. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. Isaiah chapter 50, verse 7. Joel, Joel, Joel chapter 2, verse 32. Isaiah 54, verse 17. Amos at chapter 8, verse 11. James chapter 1, verse 11. Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. Joshua chapter 1, verse 5. And last but certainly not least, Matthew chapter 6, verse 2. Because I forgot to read that, read yesterday's that we read. Let me outline this so we know we did it all. Oh, let me do today's date. Yep. So up here I will put all the dates, all the days. Yep. I'm going to put the dates, actually. No, I'm not. I was going to put them on the bottom, too. Put a star. That's where we start tomorrow. Maybe we can do more than 15 tomorrow. Depends how early I get up. So, I will see everybody tomorrow. Actually, yeah, I'll see everybody in the devotions tomorrow. But I'll see everybody later on today for coloring in Creative Haven month. Remember, first off, love, don't judge. May God give you more and more mercy, peace, and love.